And good morning, and of course, May the 4th be with you. We will get to that in a bit. Today is May the 4th for 2022, and it's a Wednesday, by the way. My name is Jay Clifton Payne. This is will be things you might not have heard for today, actually for yesterday, if you will. Some news stories that you might not have picked up across the internets, across your newspaper reading, across just general chatter that you can give to people in the internets, in your general chatter. And I guess if you want to write a newspaper, by all means, go for it. We'll have 6 stories for you today that may have slipped your mind in the case of missing some news coverage. Most of these probably not if you're a news nerd, a real news nerd, but some of these stories may be a bit off the beaten path, a bit unexpected to share with the rest of the world as you go about your day. If you want to know more about what we're doing here at the Conversation Project, trying to keep it pithy, step by our website. This is theconversationproject.com. That is this is theconversationproject.com. Find out how you can follow us along for the feeds, which are also up there in the corner as well, as long as links for sponsorships, links for partnerships, links for how we do things. And of course, check out the plea on how we need a couple things to grow and expand this thing. And it's really kind of buying some merch. That's basically a plea for you to buy some merch. Let's go on to the stories you have. Let's slate it. That's a big word for today. Starting with our first story, and it really is our first story. The top story of our range of stories to talk about, number one story of the day, is Johnny Depp rests defamation case against Amber Heard. Judge won't dismiss the case. Words are not working well for my voice today, for my lips today, but this is the deal. And while, yes, you might want to actually talk about the Arizona woman who allegedly stabbed her boyfriend to death and severed his Achilles tendon, we're talking about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has rested his side of the case for defamation, deciding to stop having bodyguards telling stories of how he sent them to spend crazy amounts of money to kind of fix the crazy things that Amber Heard has done, and go forward with this. Now, what Depp was looking for was a straight up dismissal of the case, just getting the case thrown out. The court is not having that. The judge is not going to throw the lawsuit out. This will continue to go on to some sort of resolution court-wise. And so we still have Johnny Depp and Amber Heard to kick around for a few more days at least, probably a few more weeks the way this goes. If you've not been following this trial, it's been a fairly somber and just sort of low-key affair, but it has been so deep and so amazing. Fans of Johnny Depp are all having all sorts of goodish side of days, even though what's going on is not so great. Just seeing the pain and torture that he essentially is being put through by Amber Heard. Fans of Amber Heard, who seem to be of the less note, get a chance to show that the abuse that she said happened is real. Although what we're seeing is a mutually abusive relationship where it seems like Heard was actually more the aggressor and Depp went to some point where he just sort of backed down for the sake of the children, essentially. This has been interesting. This has been weird and bizarre, but we will see some sort of resolution as the judge says, we're not dropping this case. We're going to get a ruling on this eventually. Let's move on to the next story in the set, which is this one right here. It reads, protesters outside Supreme Court after draft Roe versus Wade opinion leaks throw punches. Daily Beast on this one. This one only turned out to be around the number 7 of the top 15 stories over last night, and which is surprising because we also did post a story that went deeper into detail of the leak of the decision. Actually, Judge John Roberts basically saying, yeah, it was real. It was not spectacular, and we're not quite done yet. But this one was early. This one picked up the steam early on when the breaking news happened. And now we know what's going to happen, or we think we know what's going to happen. A draft decision has been written on the Roe versus Wade opinion, where it looks like the conservatives are going to essentially drop Roe versus Wade based on it being essentially a bad case or a bad faith case, saying that this is a matter of free speech as opposed to really being the constitutional right to free speech or free expression, if you will, as opposed to an actual right to abortion, or as is being stated by the left, I'm going to say it that way on purpose, reproductive rights. The right to reproductive rights is what is being asked, and there is no constitutional reasoning for reproductive rights. Of course, there's also no constitutional reasoning for me being a free person. That's a whole nother issue whatsoever. Daily Beast got us this one here because the people who were out there just sort of protesting, and there are always people out there just sort of protesting stuff at the Supreme Court, believe it or not. There's always some sort of gathering of something, and this is a long-standing one because they knew this was coming. They didn't know this was coming as far as a leak. Right now, it's bantered about whether the leak is a conservative leak or a liberal leak. The actual prevailing wisdom is that just one of the clerks that actually works for the people, works for one of the justices, actually leaked this results, and that's what they're saying. That's what they're believing. We won't know till somebody gets caught, and we won't know till somebody gets talked about. Ted Cruz is saying what he has to say. All the people are saying what they have to say. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So check that out going forward. Coming up next is the story, which is you can now ask Google to take your personal data out of search results. NPR.org giving us that one. This one's been going around for a few days, but it finally creeped into our level. Let's do that actual headline, please. So Google may now, possibly now, take away your personal results, not just because you've been hacked, not just because you've been doxxed, not because there's some bad financial information attached to it. Guess what? Because it's the nice thing to do, kind of. Google now offers up a tool that offers you to take out things like your phone number, your address in your personal search results so that people can't see them in the search results. Now, let's say you put up a website with your phone number and address on it, and they find that website, it's still there. But things like your address that are in various listings, or the sidebar where you look for people, stuff like that, things that pop up that's general information that's not so general, even though 20 years ago, we were all in the phone book, is out there as well. So you can have it taken off there voluntarily, like you volunteer to ask Google, and they will do it because they want to, not because something bad happened to you on the get-go. You can check that out by checking out this article via NPR. Links to the tool are right there. Moving on to story number, I believe this is 4. Gold prices languish at 2.5-month low as investors await Fed meet. Reuters.com gave us this one, and this is the 14th story in the range of 15 on top of the day. Now, this one is a bit interesting. So, because what happened was gold actually started going up overnight because it does. It's markets. But gold right now is basically at a low. So, while all the doomsday preppers for the past decade were saying buy gold, buy gold, buy gold, and then crypto came in and people swept into that, and then the stonk stuff, the meme stocks went up and went for that. The get rich quick schemes have been wrapped up into those more or less legitimate stocks and legitimate securities, although crypto is a little iffy, and the whole backing of gold has been down for a while. Now, gold basically is making a slight bump, but it's still down about 3% over the annual time. Meanwhile, platinum is up. So if you want to stock platinum, I'm not sure what you're getting for platinum, but that is out there as well. Just a suggestion if you're into that sort of thing. Maybe you can smelt it and make pretty earrings for your Mother's Day, which of course is this Sunday. So you're running out of time on that one. MLB Chad Fairchild apologizes to pitcher after blown strike call. This is an interesting one. This one came out from Bro Bible. We got a lot from Bro Bible. This is an interesting one that comes up there. Most times when an umpire makes a mistake, blows a call, they just kind of blow it off, let people yell at them, whatever. A manager may come up and bump their chest and they get thrown out. This is a rare occasion, not because it never happens, but it never happens frequently enough for people to bring up the attention of it. Chad Fairchild blew a call in a game between the Mets and the Braves the other night. Mets pitcher Chris Bassett ended up getting called for a ball instead of a strike, putting a pitcher on base. The umpire completely blew the call. All the cameras saw it. All the people saw it. All the commentators saw it. And when he saw the video, he went to him and apologized. It's that simple. We can do nice things. It's not quite dogs and cats living with each other, but it is a nice gesture that a person who has basically complete control of the game is stepping up to say he made the mistake. He made the literal error in the call. So there you go for that one. Let's move on to the next story we have for this one. And this one is a big deal because we have in the promo that Donald Trump is here, and he is here backing J.D. Vance, who won the Ohio GOP Senate primary. CNN projected yesterday. CNN.com, obviously, if they're projecting it, we're getting it from them. Also winning is Tim Ryan on the Democratic side. So what we're going to have in the primary, in the general election, is going to be J.D. Vance, who was a once never Trumper, but now was all Trumpity Trump, and Tim Ryan, who actually did run for president a cycle ago, got very little coverage. But what the weird things about this thing is, he's probably a pretty good candidate for being a pretty good person who's not 800 years old to be a president. But because politics, it didn't happen. He didn't get a lot of run. So we'll see if he actually will be a contender for 2024 or 2024, whether he's going to redo that one again. Probably not. Probably if he survives this thing with JD Vance, he's going to hold on to his Senate seat, because the Senate is kind of the battleground right now, not so much the presidency and the head of the office. We'll see how that rolls out going forward. Let's go on to one more story. And nope. I guess that was it for the stories. Now we're going to go to the teaser story, because Jay Cleveland's slides are apparently not quite in order again. So teaser story for today is this one. And this is a weird one that I think we'll all want to talk about. Yes, abuse against comedians is real. And I've talked to some comedian friends who say when the slap heard around the world happened, that this kind of stuff does happen, even if it's not between famous people being jerks. But here's one that may knock you off your rocker. Pun intended. Dave Chappelle attacked on stage by man with gun as Chris Rock jokes, "Was that Will Smith?" The joke is pretty much tasteless, but extremely appropriate in the era, in the situation we're in. Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage. Some guy got on stage with a gun. Security took care of him, but are we going to take care of this story and talk about this deeper? You guys can decide that one. This is a teaser story. It gets posted in about 10 minutes or so. So when it comes up in the feeds, you can tell us what to do with it. And we'll talk about what to do with the feeds in just a bit. But first, let's make a little money, make little money now. And we're going to talk about the Blinkist app. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/Blinkist. This is theconversationproject.com/Blinkist, and check out the Blinkist app and continue in and on our Blinkist challenge, which you can follow along for free. You don't even have to sign up for the full app to check out this Blinkist thing. You go to this website and you get the 7-day trial of the full app, which is great. And you can go to the link in the description for this week's, or today's. I keep seeing this week. This week, every single day, we're putting out a different book for you to read on Blinkist. One that's a little bit longer than I advertised, for the 15 minutes. This one's about 25 minutes. It's The Power of Fun by Catherine Price. Check it out for absolutely free. Check the whole thing out and see how you can get in on great books. You can either read it in short versions or listen to it as an audiobook. Blinkist takes all the key ideas from all great nonfiction and autobiographies and puts them into short links so you can read them through like narratives as a quick way. They also offer what's called shortcasts. Shortcasts are podcasts of the ones you love. The big time famous one. They have Malcolm Gladwell there. They have some Freakonomics in there. They have all the great podcasts you're looking for. But as most of them, the big ones are 40-minute affairs, like built for NPR type stuff. They also mark them down at half the time. So they come down to sometimes as little as 5 minutes by bringing down just the key points, usually around 15-20 minutes for an hour-long podcast. You get those in shortcast during the Blinkist app. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/Blinkist and get in on the deal, and check out the link in the description for today's challenge book and read it today for absolutely free. Free 99. So let's talk about our website again. This is conversationproject.com. This is our main website, which has all the housed information, all the knowledge of the Conversation Project. Not all that much knowledge, but just what we have there. It goes mostly in detail of some of the things that have failed in the past, various other projects that we've done to bring out people. Our main goal, or what we try to do, is have great conversations with great conversationalists. Still not sure that's a word. Essentially pulling news stories from around the world and chatting with you guys around the world. And the engagement part is a whole part of that in these breakdowns as well. Hopefully we'll bring back the Saturday podcast at some point in time. Hopefully we can get back to doing the dozens of interviews. But we will see how that goes. Now, you get a chance to decide what we got to talk about. You get a chance to vet the stories by following us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, it is This Is a Conversation Project. On Twitter, th_conversation. Yeah, kids aren't there, so we're not getting the youngins. But this is coming from me to y'alls in the internet. As you engage with the stories, every 50 minutes, a new news story basically gets posted. You like it, you love it, you hate it, you read it. The more engagement the story gets, the higher score it gets for engagement. And in the morning, 5 in the morning, we pull the stories. We pull them from the spreadsheet, and we take on Tuesday through Friday the top 15 stories and break them down to 5 to 7 stories to present to you. And that's what the numbers are. We're trying to justify this whole numbering thing because it's still stuck in my head. It may stick, it may not stick. We'll see how that goes going forward. But you can help us vet the stories, you and the algorithms, of course, vet the stories by making whatever stories most popular. About 33 stories on a regular weekday. On Mondays, when we go the whole weekend, it's about 98 stories. So we go top 30 and present to you 7 to 9 stories based on what's going on there. Trying to not go to 9 stories. O's on the line, and he keeps telling me to keep the pace. But sometimes I just get stuck in that rut and want to get those things going. So we are working on that one. So that's how you help that out. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, thank you so much. If you want to share it with folks, send them to thisisaconversationproject.com/YouTube. So they get it 5 days a week. Some people get it an extra day on Monday as I present to my other channels on Jay Cleveland Payne stuff. And so to get to 5 days a week, follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, notifications, send me money, all that great stuff going forward. Also on the day, so today things, yes, National Star Wars Day, May the 4th. Yes, it is. There you go. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get all that stuff out of you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Birthdays for the day. Will Arnett turning 52. Aaron Andrews with 44. Lance Bass, who actually runs NSYNC. I don't care what you think about Timberlake. It's Lance Bass who's his lead singer. He's 43 years today. And big shout outs to my boy Big O and his boy with a big birthday on the day for these National Star Wars Day. So may the force be with you and your family as always. And special ups to your big man going out today, Big O today. Also, one last thing going out for the day. A study found that the best way to keep the mind sharp after 50 is to exercise. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. This has been Things You Might Have Heard for May the 4th, 2022, Wednesday that day. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for joining us for this menagerie into news with your news side piece. We are not meant to be your first source of news. We don't want to be your first source of news. We want to chat about it. We want to talk about it. We want hugs, except we want them from a distance because we're kind of introverts, to get into what's going on and talk about big things. Working on bigger things going forward. Check out This Is the Conversation Project for more of those things. And go to the link for the plea asking you to get a couple extra things to help us grow this broadcast. We're looking for some tech, looking for some time, looking for some resources to pay off a couple folks, get a little extra work, help going in there, and make it happen on an expanded level. So if you're up for that, I thank you in advance. If all you're going to do is freeload and get this for free, I thank you in advance. If the best you can do is just not hit the dislike button, I thank you in advance. Thank you all for being here today. We got more stories on the way. We're going to be posting things, like I said, every 50 minutes. So we'll see what we can gather for tomorrow. We'll see what you tell us is good enough to talk about. And we will see what we are talking about for things you might not have heard for what will be Thursday, happening on a Wednesday, and all that jazz. We'll do this again tomorrow morning.